cry. Hey, bye-bye. Hey, sunshine, no more pining. Well, hey, folks, you out there in TV land, I'm really glad you tuned in. I don't want any more pining out there. Well, it's time for my show. So let's see what's going to happen today, and here we go. Well, thanks for stopping by today. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to meet, a really down-to-earth guy who also happens to be a world-famous cartoonist, one of the most respected gentlemen in his craft. And, well, you might see his work if you happen by a bookstore in this volume. There's 2 CDs. There's over 68,000 cartoons in those CDs, and these are all the people that have gotten their work in the New Yorker magazine, and this gentleman is one of those folks that are in there. When he was still in his 20s, he was a gag man and story man for the Walt Disney Studios in its heyday. And then he went on to work with the other magazines that I'm sure you've heard of. Esquire magazine, one of the most prestigious men's magazines of its era. That was in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And he's been gorgeously reproduced in Playboy magazine, full-color cartoons in there monthly. And of course in New Yorker magazine. And these are some of the publications that he's been in. And, well, he lives in the Carmel area, like I say, and well, he graciously gave me some of his time. And I set up my camera, and, well, we had a little conversation, and, well, here we go. Roll tape. The rough. And what's he saying here?
This woman is looking at this one upside down. She says, "Marie, are you still driving?"
Okay. Yeah, I'll go to the finished piece here. And then focus in here. Zoom in a little bit. And looking good. So it's just wash, gray, watercolor, whatever.
Yeah, it's black watercolor.
India ink or whatever.
And no India ink. Black watercolor and wash.
Okay.
Black wash.
Yeah. And, so that's all done with a brush or what?
Brush. Yeah.
What's something that's just a rough thing or something?
No, these are.
Okay, well, let me see what we got here. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Oops. Okay, so we got so what's the line here?
Rosamond isn't here anymore. She was devoured by a dragon.
There you go.
That's an old one. That's one of the first I saw to them.
Okay. Yeah.
Many years ago.
And
he says it's in perfect condition. It belonged to a coward. The armor.
The armor. Yeah, it's got a. Jeez. Okay, and let's see what else we got here.
Guess where my Gucci's took me today?
Okay.
Gucci shoes.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
They're looking at it's actually a weather report.
Mm-hmm.
Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are falling upstate, while simple showers of sulfur and nitrogen are blanketing the central counties. Toxic air pollutants will be prevalent in all areas and may endanger some lower forms of aquatic life. For the rest of us, enjoy the sun and the weekend.
Well, that's something weird.
Ellen, I'd like you to meet Mr. McClure. Mr. McClure is into panning for gold.
Yeah, he looks a little bit
Well, a little bit of the past.
Yeah.
Well, there goes Atlantis.
Gee.
Probably hit the last, but it's disappeared. There's a bloop.
Yeah.
people didn't get it, but the New Yorker bought it.
Yeah.
The mechanic is working on the car, and he says, "This reminds me of Lennon's famous line about carburetors." Now, kind of, in Arabia or wherever, and this fellow's talking. When Alexander the Great stopped here, we thought the town would take off, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It's your bus. When we wait for our bus, but it's, all right.
Okay.
Has my bus come? Yeah, your bus is coming.
Your bus is coming.
I always like that one.
Yeah.
Stop me if you've heard this one.
with a metal mace.
So this is Stop me if you've heard this one.
Yeah. He'll crush his head. Yeah. Okay.
And it says, the caption was, Mozart at 3 was even then mostly Mozart. As a tourist, and he's come across these gentlemen in the village or something, and he says, he's talking, "Can you tell me why tourists are attracted here? Or do we have the wrong place?" I thought of that when we were in Europe once. You travel around.
Yeah, here I was looking at original drawings by Eldon Dedini that he had created for the New Yorker magazine. And he was explaining them, and we'll get back to some more of these drawings for the New Yorker magazine. But right now, Eldon felt the urge to get outside, breathe some fresh air.
I walk for 30 to 40 minutes between 6 and 6:30, 6:40 in the morning.
And down by the beach?
By the beach, yeah. Down Scenic to Carmel Point and all through the neighborhoods till the time is up, till I use up the time.
And then it's a beautiful place to walk.
It is. The rain or shine is terrific.
So as we walked along, I asked Eldon Dedini about what he's currently working on for Playboy magazine. All right. So what are you currently working on there?
I'm doing Playboy Christmas ideas.
Oh, wow. We got to work way in advance on all this stuff, huh?
They asked for the ideas about it. Well, my deadline is April 1st for the ideas.
Yeah.
Then okays, the finishes come about June. When they put it together, what they're after.
Yeah. So then you mailed down the original stuff.
No, I said Russ first.
Oh, I mean, but
and on the case, I make a finish and set it, and those deadlines are end of July.
So when you send a finish, it's flapped and on cardboard and all that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Special delivery or something there, I'm sure.
Well, I insure the hell out of it, and I don't special. Nowadays, everything's special.
Yeah. And they actually send you back the originals?
They do, yeah.
So that's kind of neat that you get to keep your originals.
Yeah, long time ago, magazines didn't send them back.
Yeah. So then they just came out with this new coffee table book, Playboy did.
Yeah, 50th anniversary.
So that's neat. So here we're coming back to the house here. And it's time for a little breakfast break here, a little coffee, catch up on the news. There's Eldon with his wife, Virginia. They got married in 1944. That makes it over 60 years. Getting set up to shoot the interview, and Eldon cleared his head first with a bright red handkerchief. Thing going on there.
Yeah, nice red. I bought it in King City.
Oh, okay. The Cowboys there.
Cowboy town. That's where I'm from.
Oh, really? What, you're from King City?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you went to high school, or what?
Grammar school, high school,
Yeah, King City.
kindergarten, born.
Born in King City. Could I ask you what year that was, or?
1921.
1921, so you said that makes you somewhere around early?
I am 83.
83.
I'll be 84 in a few months.
Oh my gosh, so we're talking, I'm going to introduce this somehow or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're in the home, the Carmel home of Eldon Dedini, world famous cartoonist. That's what you are, really. But you're an anonymous face, but the world famous cartoonist.
I doubt what you said first, but I know I'm an anonymous
You're an
face.
anonymous face, but the people have seen your work in that little scribbly name of yours.
Yeah.
And with a name like that, you can't go wrong. Sort of like Smuckers or something, right?
Yeah, it almost seems like a made-up name.
It's not-
In fact, years ago in New York, somebody asked me, what was your name before you changed it to
Yeah.
Dedini?
Yeah. So, what'd you say that the lineage was on that?
The name?
Lineage, yeah. On that.
Well, Italian Swiss.
Sounds like the wine, whatever.
Yeah, Monterey County and Santa Clara County, all along the coast here. A lot of Italian Swiss
All right.
emigrated and became dairymen.
Okay. So is that what you're?
That's what they were, the early ones. Then they went into vegetables and wine,
Yeah.
grapes.
You've been here in Carmel for what, 50 years or something, or?
We moved here in 1950, so that's, what is it, 55?
Yeah, 55 years. And your wife is also an artist.
A painter. She
And
painted all her life.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so that runs in the. And I guess you have at least a son. I heard about it.
I do have a son, Giulio.
As he artist.
No, he became an accountant.
Okay, yeah. Well, somebody has to handle the money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So here you are in Carmel. Okay, what can you say about Carmel? I mean,
Well, you know, we don't live in Carmel. We live in Carmel unincorporated.
okay.
Across the highway, it's Carmel here, but here it's not. I have no prejudice against Carmel. However, I always thought that I live in Monterey. My address is Monterey. My grandparents lived in Monterey. My mother went to school here. My connections are with Monterey. Carmel was always a kind of a art colony and precious people.
Oh, okay.
Now this was then.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, no, I don't want to be. I'm a work-a-day person.
Yeah.
I make cartoons. In fact, Hank Ketchum told me, get a post office box in Monterey. Because he said, if you get a box in Carmel, you go to the post office at 9 or 10, you meet somebody, or a lot of people you know, because everybody goes to the post office here to get the mail. That's right.
Oh.
You talk, and pretty soon it's 11:30, and you say, let's all go to lunch. Let's go to lunch.
Yeah.
You go to lunch, you have a couple of drinks, you eat lunch, you get home, you take a nap. He said, you'll start to work around 5 o'clock. Go to Monterey.
Yeah.
Business.
Okay, well, that's good, yeah. So, okay, here we are in, but so you consider yourself a Monterey, not a Carmel,
Yeah, well, over 50 years, I am both.
and you've done all kinds of fundraising type things. I know you've done posters for the
Concord Elegance.
the car show. One thing, I met you about 50 years ago at this in Carmel at a little art thing that was going on by a guy named Fig Murray. He was teaching a little cartoon class.
He did a comic strip called Seeing Stars for King Features.
This realistic kind of
Yeah. Right.
and all about movie stars.
That's right.
And so he had some guest speakers come in, and one of them was yourself. And even at that time in 1957, you were big time.
Well, I was just in 57. I had been with the New Yorker maybe 7 years.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to okay. When you were in high school, what did you say? I'm going to be a cartoonist, or when was it that you started?
Well, I started drawing when I was 5 years old as a kid. All kids start.
Yeah.
You know, all kids draw.
Yeah.
But I never quit. And by the time I was, say, first year of high school, I had decided I'm going to be a cartoonist because I discovered that it's a profession.
Yeah.
You know, it's not by magic on Sundays. So I took all the courses, but I drew, you know, weekends, nights, always drew, copied comic strips, and I bought a book, and it said how to send in cartoons to magazines, so I knew how to make roughs.
Yeah.
I set out for several years in high school. Got them all back because I was terrible naturally, but I was learning the process. I didn't collapse if I got a rejection slip. By the time I got to junior college in Salinas, I sold one to Esquire magazine.
Oh my gosh, the biggest, most famous men's magazine in the world.
Yeah, well, I didn't look at it that way, but I knew they printed cartoons, and I loved the.
Wasn't Hefner in the mailroom at that time at Esquire?
They tell me, I didn't know that, because I always do it by mail. I never lived in Chicago.
So here you are, what, 20 years old or something?
19, 20.
19?
Yeah.
Get accepted by Esquire.
Yeah.
What, black and white, ink
It was a black and white pen drawing. But you know, during those days too, junior college, I was drawing editorial and political cartoons and cowboy cartoons for the Salinas Morning Post and the Salinas Index Journal for 2 years. And that happened because Leon Amix, my art teacher over there, said, "Oh, Dedini, you want to be a cartoonist?" He didn't teach cartooning, but I took all these art classes. He said, "Here's your first assignment. Make a portfolio, go down to the local paper, offer your services for nothing for the experiences."
Yeah.
Which I did. They were happy. The price was right. I was happy. And I did it.
And so here you are published it, and there was thousands of people were seeing your work on the editorial page, and I guess scattered throughout. And what years was that then, would you say?
Well, I would say it was 40, 41, part of 42.
Okay, so then, here comes a big thing happens. What, Mickey Mouse or something? What's the deal?
Well, yeah, it didn't happen immediately after junior college. I went to Los Angeles to the Chouinard Art Institute. And I went there 2 years. And then I married Virginia because she was a student there. Then I was selling Esquire more, small magazines. But when you get married, you need a little more money. So I went to Disney's.
Now, you showed them a portfolio?
A portfolio. And I said I didn't want to be an animator. I wanted to be either storyboard or background. So they tried me out in storyboard.
Now, who did you interview with at that time? Do you remember it all? Or?
Well, yeah. The first person was a woman, Mary Lennon, Lennon. And then I guess I was approved by her. I met Hal Adelquist. He was sort of a personnel manager. I think Mary was eliminating people. If you passed her, you got to the next. So he liked my portfolio because I showed him roughs and stuff that I had been published, And he said, "We'll give you a 2-week trial." And he gave me what they call model sheets of all the characters, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Donald Duck, whatever. And so I just practiced them for 2 weeks. And at the end of that 2 weeks, nobody had come into my little cubicle and said, "Dedini, come back Monday." So I went home Friday afternoon, but I said, "I'm going back Monday regardless." And I think I stayed another 3 days, and I mentioned to somebody in the hall my situation. And he said, "Well, I'll just call him up." Because, there's inter-office phone. And he said, "Oh, yeah, sure, you're hired." And they assigned me to Roy Williams, who was a big guy. He was in the Mickey Mouse Club, if you remember that. He was 300 pounds, 6 feet something.
He was a gag man?
He was a gag man, story writer. So I did a short with him called Wet Paint. And then after that, I went with Harry Reeves and Homer Brightman, who were two fellows that started with Disney in the old studio on Hyperion. They were old timers. I did a lot of work for them. Dumbbell of the Yukon, which was a Donald Duck short. Wind in the Willows, which came out as Mr. Toad. That was a feature.
And there was Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Mickey and the Beanstalk was another film.
There was Melody.
Fun and Fancy Free.
Yeah, Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time, all these kind.
Yeah.
Now this was right in the middle of the war. Then,
Exactly. Yeah.
And you were.
I was 4F. Yeah, my number was an early number. It was going to come up. I knew the King City. You know, they kind of knew. So I didn't want to hang around. So I told him in King City, put me up right now. The next bunch going, because I had been told I had a heart murmur in high school and at junior college. I've never known anything from it, but I said, you know, I just may be 4F, and I was. I went to San Francisco and they poked and said, Dedini, join the Merchant Marine. Well, I didn't. I went to Disney.
Well, I was fascinated with Dedini's Disney years because, for one thing, when I was about 9 years old, I had met Harry Reeves, the guy that Dedini worked with at the Disney Studios, and Harry Reeves was also a friend of my father's in the late 30s and 40s when Harry Reeves was working at the Disney Studios. So I wanted to hear what Eldon Dedini had to say about this guy, Harry Reeves. What can you tell me about Harry Reeves? What kind of guy was he?
Well, he was, you might call him a nut, but that's being cartoony, because he was free flow, you know, nervous fellow, jump up, you got to do this, you know, just all gestures, and he had a habit of going like this. He wore a tie. It must have been. And his neck, you know, he's always worn like this. I remember that.
Did you hang around with the guy? Are you in much?
Well, they lived in Glendale, I think, and I lived, you know, out by Culver City. So when work was over, that was it. Though he was a very sociable fellow. He was always fascinated that I came from King City. So he was coming north once with his family, and he looked in the phone. I wasn't there. And he looked in the phone book, King City. Well, you could find a Dedini immediately, which was my aunt. She stopped by and knocked on the door. And she knew I was at Disney's, and she was, you know, country woman. Said, oh, sure. Came in, fed him, I don't know what, pasta and chicken and everything. He came back to Disney all enthused. He said, man, you've got a great town and family there.
Well, King City will be glad to hear about that.
Yeah.
But there's only a handful of guys like you that actually, when you said you were just a little kid, you said, I want to be a cartoonist. Is that what you said, or what?
I guess so. I don't remember saying that, but that happened.
You stood up and you talked to God or whoever. And you
Yeah.
said, I'm going to be a cartoonist, but it actually happened.
Yeah.
And you when you're just 24 or 25, you're at Walt Disney Studio, and then you're working at Esquire magazine.
Well, the way you say it, it does seem like a lot of luck.
Well, yeah.
But I'll tell you, it's sort of putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think I read that.
Yeah.
You know, when in King City in 1935, you're never going to get anywhere keeping it in the drawer.
Yeah.
So, good or bad, I put it in an envelope, send it.
Yeah.
And shortly, you know, you learn.
You read the book How to Send Your Cartoons
Yeah.
to the Magazine. Okay.
Sure.
And then
And then I learned early that it's what's in the envelope that counts, you know, not just the sending, and
Yeah.
you improve it.
You developed a style over
That kind of happens, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't sit down, but if you be yourself, I'm sure my early work, when I started with the New Yorker, the editor, James Garrity, said he thought my work looked European. I didn't know where that came from. He said it looks a little bit like Whitney Darrow Jr., who was in the New Yorker. And I admitted to that. I said, I love Whitney Darrow. That's another one. Arno, Whitney Darrow.
Yeah.
But I knew that I shouldn't look like Whitney Darrow. It was more, he used charcoal pencil and wash, and that's what I used.
Yeah.
So that already makes it. But shortly, if you just be yourself and your humor starts coming, you draw like you.
Yeah. Now, you write your own gags too.
I do.
Nobody else writes your gags.
That's right. That's right.
And so every day, when you're dreaming at night, do you wake up and start writing gags down?
No, I sleep at night.
You actually sleep at night?
Yeah.
But when you must be continually thinking of gags.
Yeah, that's why you see all the magazines, newspapers, I listen to the radio, television. So television is sort of numbing.
Yeah.
You can make up gags listening to the radio because you can tune in and out, you know.
Yeah.
With the color, something I thought would work kills the joke.
Yeah. So you see this thing in your head first, of course, right? You see
Partly, not the whole thing.
You don't see the whole
No.
thing?
I see the joke.
Yeah, it's right there.
But you can miss the joke sometimes you may get the drawing right, and then the color cancels it,
Yeah.
or competes.
But
It's a subtle thing, and I can't really explain it.
But you do, like a musician, they hear the music in their head or whatever. I'm sure you see pictures in your head all the time, and then you...
Well, let's say I see more pictures maybe than the next guy.
Yeah.
But
And now, of course, your stuff pertains to, guy-girl thing, boy chases girl, and a lot of it is like movie starlets and
yeah, but that's Playboy.
Yeah.
For New Yorker, I did a lot of Marxist Soviet jokes
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
In fact, I was almost unhappy when the wall fell.
Yeah.
Not really, but you know, it took out my whole.
But you had like the king in his castle looking down at the peasants that were revolting below.
Yeah.
And he's saying something about they come from permissive homes.
Peasant homes, yeah.
Peasant home, permissive peasant homes,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Can you remember some of your favorite gags that you've done over the years? Or, I mean, how many do you think you've done? Got any idea?
Well, I'm not sure of this, but for the New Yorker, somebody told me who went through that giant book, the CDs,
That weighs
606.
606.
I'm not sure of that. I'm saying it now, but I know that it's over 500.
Yeah.
For Playboy, I have no idea. It might be 1,100, 1,200.
And those are full color, most of those.
Well, most are. I do small ones.
Yeah. Who decides on, okay, this is a color one, this is black and white? I mean,
Well, I guess Hef does.
Yeah, is he still in charge? He loves cartoons, that's
Yeah.
what I heard.
No, he and Michelle Urey, the cartoon editor, are the ones who decide on the drawings.
Because he loves the cartoons as much as he likes the centerfolds, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
He just loves, that's why there's so many cartoons in that.
Well, I hope so.
Playboy, are you still in there, or what?
Oh yeah, every month.
Oh, every
I got 7 or 8 to do right now.
Oh, I know, so I'm hanging you up here.
Oh, you sure are. You're costing me money.
What's this cartoon thing right here, the guy and the gal?
Well, it's a wedding.
Yeah.
And this guy is, he's not necessarily the best man.
Yeah.
But it's after the wedding, and he says, Claudine and I go way, way back. Which, you know, the groom is a little disturbed with that. Well, if you get the idea, you'll find a way to draw it.
You've got that blank piece of paper looking at you. That's been a challenge?
I don't look at it as a blank paper because I have a lot of ideas. It's a place to plop something.
Well, I would really want to thank Eldon Dedini for letting the Ken Carney camera crew enter his household and set up the camera and have this wonderful interview with one of my boyhood heroes. Well, this show was produced by Ken Carney Studios in Santa Cruz, California.